Hey, Orchinistas! Welcome to the channel Forever Orchids. I am so glad that you are here. Are you an orchid lover just like I am? I hope so. You're in the right place if you are. Let me tell you, I finally got my Carter and Holmes haul. Yay! I'm so excited. Let me show you what I got. I've got them all over here, and I don't even know which one to start with. All right, let's just start pulling them out here. Okay, so Carter and Holmes, they are in Newberry, South Carolina. They have an online website, and they also have a couple of Facebook pages. They have Carter and Holmes Facebook page, and then there's another one called Pop-Up Sales at Carter and Holmes, and that one is a new Facebook page. So make sure you check that out because periodically Bridget Uzar, she will start posting plants for sale in a pop-up sale on Facebook. Well, I had bought a couple of plants, and she normally, at the end of the pop-up sale, she will do everybody that purchased, she'll put them in a drawing for a bonus plant. Well, one week I won. So this is the bonus plant that I got. And this one is called SLC Newberry Pink Samba. Now that's a cross between LC Newberry Prom Night, pretty in pink, with SLC Sierra Splash with a cultivar named June. Now I already own one of these plants. I had bought one last year from them, and that one was growing outside. It is mature blooming size, and it has bloomed 2 years in a row. So this one, I'm not quite sure if it's blooming size yet. I don't think so, based on the pseudobulbs that I've got for the one outside. I'm going to pull these sheaths off here. Bugs love to hide in there. I'm going to go ahead and get some of the sheaths off while we're talking. It's kind of a little satisfying thing to do. So anyway, this one, because this is a seedling, I don't know what exactly this one's going to look like. So I can post some pictures of mine that I already have. And then they posted another picture on Facebook of that particular seedling had more of a splash petal. So I can post two of the pictures right here so that you can see. And we'll just have to wait until this one is mature and blooming size to see what this one looks like. Okay, whoop. And they are a little top heavy here. That to sit up. Okay, next we have, and I popped this one in a clay pot because they are top heavy and it was falling over. Look at this one here. New growth right here. And what do I always tell you? If the sheath for the new growth is taller than the previous bulb, you're doing good. You're doing good. Of course, Carter and Holmes is doing good. I wouldn't expect anything less. All right, but this is a species. This is a Cattleya trianii. Now, this is the cultivar Cassions, which has an FCC by the American Orchid Society, and it is a pink Cattleya. Look at the picture here. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And so she had several of these seedlings that she had been getting in the pop-up sales. Pop-up sales are first come, first serve, and I kept missing it, and I always missed it. But I got lucky one day and was able to get this one here. I'm going to just pop it back down in that little clay pot. I'll end up planting it in that clay pot, in the 4-inch clay pot. It's in a 3-inch right now, and I'll pot it up a different day. Okay, then this next one here is most definitely outgrown its 2.5-inch pot. And this is another absolutely gorgeous. I know I keep saying that a lot, but you should say that. When you're buying plants, get the flowers that just speak to you, that you just love. And this one was so unique. This is a BLC South Island. Now, this is the cultivar Beautiful Dreamer. This is a light pastel yellow color, but look at that lip. The lip shape is unique with that blush, kind of a salmony pink color it looks like. So I can't wait for this one. So lovely. Now, I have seen recently online where Chadwick and Sons is another orchid company in Richmond, Virginia, Powhatan, Virginia, I think is their actual address. But they did a remake of this, and they've posted a picture online of a white with yellow in the lip. More frilly, kind of looks more like your regular Cattleya. I like this one for that lip shape. That was unique, and I think that soft pastel looking yellow is just going to be so striking on this plant. Look at this baby. Just sprawling out everywhere. So that was definitely, as Bridget said, one that needs to be repotted. And I can go ahead and repot it, because if I pull this back just a little bit, I can start seeing new roots that are growing down into the pot. So this one will be ready real soon to go ahead and repot into a larger size. Okay, then we've got another Cattleya here. And I saw the picture of this and I was like, oh my gosh, how fast can I type the word sold? Done. Done, done, done. I'm a pink. I love my pink flowers. I love my Zerulia flowers. And I saw this and I was like, oh, done. Yep, got to have it. This is BC Raspberry Parfait. This is the cultivar Lorraine McClellan. McClellan? I think it's McClellan. It's a little seedling. So it's going to be a while before this one blooms. I've been told by a friend of mine, when I told him I got this plant, he said, oh yeah, big flowers, 6-7 inch, big pink flowers. So it's going to be several years, I'm quite sure, before I can get this one mature size, but I'm excited. I'm so excited for this one. So excited. Okay, I've got some other Cattleyas that are supposed to be pink, but they don't have an ID on them. So to have an ID one, lovely. Okay, what is next? Let's go into, since we're on the theme of Cattleyas, let's do this one here. Okay, so she had divisions of this plant, okay, and it has just started opening yesterday. And I hope I pronounced this correctly. This is Dilalia Cattleya Newberry Pink Splash. Now, this does have Dilalia Chantilly lace in its background. That's one of the parents, and that's what gives it its unique shape and patterning on the flower. So she has a couple of divisions that she had potted up in slat baskets with, and look at the roots just going everywhere. Now she's lined the basket with coconut core fiber, and then she's got a bark mixture in there. Now the coconut is in there so that it will retain moisture with that bark. So I'm going to have to keep my fingers crossed that during the winter I can keep this alive. It's very difficult to keep them alive in an open, airy basket or mount in my growing environment. I don't have too many mounts. 1, 2, 3 mounts that I'm keeping an eye on. I do have a fourth one. I have a Tulumnia that is mounted on top of driftwood with its roots sprawling everywhere that I mist every day. I don't want a whole lot of plants that I have to mist every single day. I don't have the time for that. But this, look, I'm just so excited. This is gorgeous. Now, the other one that I saw that she had, it was interesting to me that the petals and the sepals were a darker pink. So I'm not quite sure if, as this opens, if it will darken. Now, that one was already in bloom when I saw it, so that was in her greenhouse. As soon as I got this one, I stuck it outside in my grow space. You can go back and watch a video that I have on my summer grow space and see I've got a few of my orchids outside for the summer. Let me see if I can get this in here. Hopefully, try to move the wires a little bit maybe so they're not in the way. And maybe let you get up in there and see that flower. Oh, I hope the camera will focus. If I go back and edit the video and it didn't focus, I will most definitely take a picture of this little baby here. I suspect it's not smelling yet. Not yet. So we've got it. It just opened yesterday. The second one here is starting to open today. So I need to give it a couple more days probably to open and let that scent go ahead and start infusing the world with its wonderful, wonderful scent. Okay, let's get that one out of the way. All right, moving on. I then got some Phalaenopsis. And this one here, look at it. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Look at it. Gorgeous. Can I hold it still? Okay. This is Phalaenopsis violacea. This is a species. And this is the variety indigo. Now, indigo is not a Zerulia. This is a much darker flower. Oh my gosh, the scent. Oh, wow. I would describe it spicy, a little minty. It's kind of the way I'm smelling it. That's very nice, very nice. So this one has bloomed and it has started pushing out another bud on the same spike. And let's see here what else we have. I have a new root growing down here on the bottom. So this is going to be a fun Phalaenopsis to have in my collection. I am really starting to collect some of these summer blooming Phalaenopsis. They're also fragrant. So if you don't have any, you need to find some. I'm just here to tell you, the fragrant Phalaenopsis, they have more of the star-shaped flowers typically than your big moth. They call them moth orchids. So the ones you find in your grocery stores and your big box stores, a little bit bigger flowers, that is usually called a moth orchid, and you typically don't have a scent. But when you start getting closer to the species and you get more of that star-shaped, they're going to have a fragrance to them. This one here, this one is a cross where the parent is the violacea indigo, okay? And this is called, oh, wait a minute, wait, I'm missing one. Okay, this is still one I got from Carter and Holmes. It's just a different Phalaenopsis than I thought. Okay, so we'll return back to the one that is the parent, is the violacea. This one is a species. This is the Phalaenopsis cornicervia variety, and I believe it is pronounced Chatelaide #1 crossed with itself. So this is going to be a red Phalaenopsis. Also, the spikes on this look different. Notice how this just looks like, let me get this out of the pot here, how this one here is just a straight stem with flowers at the end. Okay, well, this species here, Cornicervia, it's going to have more of a brack, more, it almost looks braided. It's really a beautiful flower spike, and then it will have red flowers at the tip, at the end of that spike, that will have like a little white in the lip. So look at the picture here. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. And it's a sequential bloomer, so you don't want to cut your flower spikes off. But here is the tag, and hopefully that will focus so that you can try to read that this is the Chatelaide. All right, moving on. I got a Bulbophyllum. I am starting to collect Bulbophyllums. Yeah. I love the daisy ones. And I've got Bulbophyllum grandiflorium. Is that how you pronounce it? Bulbophyllum mastercianium. I know that one didn't come out right the way I pronounced that. I have the Bulbophyllum Elizabeth Ann Buckleberry. I've got a cross, a seedling cross of another Bulbophyllum, and then I've got a Bulbophyllum pulcherrima, which looks like the daisy chain. So this is a new one here. This is Bulbophyllum Crownpoint. This is a primary hybrid between two species, Bulbophyllum rothschildianum adorable, which has an FCC by the American Orchid Society. That's the highest award given by the American Orchid Society on a plant. And it is crossed with a smaller species, Bulbophyllum frostii. And this one is in bud. Now, she did have one that was already blooming, and I just decided that it was in a bigger pot, and I'm running out of space in my grow space for bigger pots until I figure out what's the next step. So I went ahead and got the smaller, what is this, a 3-inch pot that was in bud. So they're starting to come on out. See those little buds there? Look at those. Let's see if I can get in a little closer there on those buds. Let the camera focus. And I'll pop up a picture. I've seen where this can run the gamut of a lot of red in the petals and the sepals to a cream more of a cream background. So I'm not quite sure. I have a feeling based on the one that was in bloom, this one's just going to be more of the cream with the speckles on it. I'm not seeing a lot of red. I do have a lot of red in the spike right here. So I don't know. It's just going to be exciting to see what this one looks like. And because these are seedlings, this is Bulbophyllum Crownpoint, and I'm going to give it a cultivar name of Forever in honor of this channel. So, okay. Oh my goodness. At the Asheville show at Western North Carolina Orchid Society that was back in April of 2024, I had the opportunity to go to that show. The grand prize, or the plant, I should say, that won Grand Champion, it's called Grand Champion, for the whole show was a Chysis. So on a pop-up sale, when Bridget at Carter and Holmes had Chysis, dun, 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 how fast? So I got 2 of them here. And they are planted in 4-inch pots in tree fern. Now, instead of it being in fine tree fern, it's actually in tree fern chunks. So this is a little bit interesting growing for me in tree fern, but I'm looking down and I do see new roots. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the camera down to focus, but these roots are really cool. They're kind of like Phragmipedium and Pathopedilums, how sometimes those roots can have fuzzy, hairy parts to them. Like that's what this has. It's really cool. And Chysis, these are along the lines of a catasetum, and I am starting to get more catasetums. In fact, I've got an order coming next week from Carter SVO with his second summer catasetum list. Keeping my fingers crossed that I got the last Sonochis Cooperi. Yay! So anyway, I've got that coming. So these are typically grown along the same growing requirements as a catasetum, with a few slight differences. You don't want these to totally dry out during the winter. But anyway, so Chysis also, as they mature and get much bigger, obviously the leaves are going to get much bigger, the pseudobulbs are going to get much bigger, but they have a tendency to be pendulous. Is that what I'm trying to say here? And then the flowers will come out. Well, this is Chysis Peachy King, okay? And Peachy King, and I'm going to pop up down here along the screen what this is a cross of, because I just don't want to butcher the name. One of the parents is Chysis Lemming. See, I'm going to try to butcher it just because I'm putting myself on the spot trying to pronounce it correctly. Then I mess it up. Lemminghai. Yep, messed it up. I know I did. So we're going to put this down on the bottom of the screen so you can see what this is. This is newly registered by Carter and Holmes, and this is called Chysis Peachy King. Look at that flower. OMG. Is that not just the cutest thing? And all the colors. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. So I'm excited about having one of these. Do not know the tips, why they're turning brown. I'm not 100% sure if this is the way they might not have been like this, to be honest with you. I have put these outside in my grow space. Could just be too much of a shock for them, and I have been spraying them with fertilizer, getting them accustomed to my growing environment. So I'm not quite sure what these brown tips are. Could be too much fertilizer, could be the culture shock. I figured if they were coming from South Carolina, she had held these plants for a month, some of them, because they had such high heat, she didn't want to ship them. And so I thought, why not? Let's put them outside. Okay. So we're getting a little long-winded here. I can tell that. I've got one more Phalaenopsis. I need to go find where I have placed it within the grow space, and I'll be right back. Okay, last plant, Phalaenopsis. Now, as I was saying earlier, this is a cross with Phalaenopsis violacea indigo, and it is crossed with Phalaenopsis samaria variety Zerulea. And I just decided when I was looking at all of her plants, and I just thought, what am I going to regret if I don't get? And this was definitely one of them. And the Bulbophyllum was another one. Yeah, so I had about 3 of them that I'm like, what am I going to regret if I don't get them? And this was one of them. So this is not a pink. She said this is more of a lavender, kind of like the Zeruleas. So I am excited to see what this is going to end up blooming. It's a seedling. It's going to be a while before it blooms. Maybe I'll get lucky and next year it will bloom. But look at now this is not a great picture because the picture that she had of it wasn't that great to start with. But look at the picture here. Isn't it pretty? I just think this is going to have such a great color to it. I really, really do. And I've got a little new root growing out right here. So I am excited. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That was 12 plants. That was a pretty big haul, wasn't it? I am excited for all of my plants. Really have been growing my collection for the last year. Getting close to a year and a half that I've been growing my collection. So I'm really excited about a lot of the plants that I have in my collection. And I hope you will stay with me as I go on this orchid journey. Well, I continue. I've been growing orchids for close to 30 years now. But does by no means makes me an expert. There are over 25,000 species of orchids and hundreds of thousands of hybrids. So you can't know everything. So I primarily focus on, I have Phalaenopsis and I have Cattleyas. That's the majority of my collection. I'm extending it into other genuses such as the Bulbophyllums, the Chysis, which were included in the Cataceae. And I just hope you will stay with me. Please like and subscribe if you wish. And I hope if you find any of this information useful, go ahead and share this video. Please, that will help out my channel and continue to grow my channel. And until next time, guys, happy orchid growing. Bye.